Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome back.
Good evening.
I guess you say welcome back after an introduction or whatever we did the other night, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah,
welcome back.
Yeah.
We're hoping they're back.
We're hoping they're back. Maybe 3 or 4 will show up and hang out with us. This is the Southern Gospel Spin. I'm Scott Bolden.
And I'm Jason Baines.
And we are so tickled that you're hanging out with us today, tonight. Whenever you watch this, we are broadcasting live on August the 7th. At 7 p.m. We're on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're not joining us live, hey, on the introduction the other night, we got so many comments like folks was watching us live. Yep. Did you notice that?
I did.
So if it's not Monday night, August the 7th, from about 7 to I don't know how long we're going to go, but we may not be live. But go ahead and comment anyway. I enjoyed reading them.
If you're not watching live, why not?
Exactly. Where are you at? Come on in. But we are so thankful to have y'all along with us and looking forward to this. We got some great guests tonight.
Yes.
Why don't we do real quick one little thing of business, if you want to be my Vanna and hand me that over there. We have been blessed to have a couple of folks come on board and I guess you would say sponsor us. So I'm going to talk real quick about one. I don't know if any of y'all have tried Ben Soap Company. They are a Christian family-owned business, small business. They make natural products, goat milk soap, goat milk lotion, goat milk salve. Did I say that right?
Sure.
Goat milk scrub, goat milk. I don't know. They make all kind of good stuff.
You ever had goat milk?
I don't drink cow milk, much less goat milk.
I have not either. I'm not planning on it.
But look, Ben Soap Company, it's a great company, Christian family owned, natural products. My family uses them, have for a while. So I reached out to them and they are going to sponsor us. You see on the bottom of your screen there's a coupon code that you could use to help support both a Christian owned family company and the Southern Gospel Spin. I got a new flavor, black licorice. I love black licorice jelly beans. Do you?
No, I do not.
I was tempted to take a bite out of this and try it, but I don't think I will.
I like jelly beans, but my favorite jelly beans are the Starburst jelly beans. You ever had the Starburst jelly beans?
No, I'm traditional.
Well, you got to get you some.
I'm traditional and fundamental on my jelly beans. I got to go old school on that. So anyway, all right, look, thank y'all. But if you would, check them out. Check out our sponsors. We appreciate them helping us out. Okay. All right. So I will see if I can't turn that off. Yeah, that works. I'm having to be my own producer tonight, so y'all gonna have to bear with me. But I tell you what I'd like to do, if you're okay with it, Mr. Jason.
Sure.
I'd like to jump right on in with our guest.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to welcome them into the studio. Please make welcome Sound Street.
Hey.
Sound Street.
Hey, guys. Hi, Scott. Hi, Jason. Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
Hey.
I feel like the Brady Bunch. Hi, Scott. Hi, Ryan.
The thing about it is, and Jason and I have been talking about this, it's going to be aggravating for us. We used the computer the other night sitting here so we could see the screen. I've got a webcam here now, so to look at folks and to look at y'all, I've got to be looking here, but I want to look here so I can see you guys.
I want to look to my right and look down at them, and that's an adjustment.
Well, we are so thankful for our friend Sound Street and thankful that they were able to join us tonight for this season 1 episode.
I mean, that's just exciting for us to be right here on your premiere season 1 first episode show. And so it's either going to tailspin out of control and crash and burn before it ever has a chance to take off, or it's going to be really good.
And we're going to go with the latter. I think y'all are just going to take this, to the moon. So, but thankful for you guys. I tell you what, why don't we start out like this and maybe just y'all introduce yourselves to our folks?
Well, right here to the next of me is 14 right now, but the 23rd, here in a couple of weeks, she'll be 15 years old.
All right.
But this is mine and my wife's daughter, Jaylee Vanderslice. And then right below us here, long time friend. I've known Ryan probably going on 15 years now, I guess, to probably close to 20. Probably close to 20. He was in high school when I first met him. Me and him 6 years. He's 6 years younger than me. But he's one of those that he's closest thing I've got to a brother. I've got a brother, but he's just like another brother to me. And so from Sapulpa, Oklahoma, is where he lives. And we say that he's saved, single, and desperate. So we'll take any. Got to be a woman, and she's got to walk on her own. So that's the only two requirements. Everything else is open. So, but it's Ryan Bilby. So we're glad to have him part of our group.
And you are?
Oh, and I'm Jared.
Hey, Jared.
He just thinks everybody knows him.
They should know me. It's kind of like that Glenn Payne joke, you know. He said he walked around the nursing home and they were singing, said, "Do you know me?" And the lady grabbed his head, said, "No, honey. But if you go to the front desk, they'll tell you who you are."
That's great. That's great. And I tell you, I getting y'all on camera and when we were testing everything out earlier, I am so tickled, and I don't think that Jason is very much, but Miss J. Lee's shirt that has War Eagles written on the front of it, that speaks to my heart.
Well, you know, they don't know this, but they're fixing to. My youngest is a Auburn fan, and I don't know how I think I know how he wound up that way. But anyway, I've told him and Jaylee, you know, if that's the worst decision you ever make in your life, But
that's her high school.
No,
though.
Yeah, that's my high school.
Oh yeah,
that's her high school. Yeah, she's not the Auburn fan, but
right.
I'm going to play like she is tonight. That's awesome.
Well, okay, so we got an Auburn. Jason, you're Auburn, right? Auburn.
Auburn.
What is it?
You just said Auburn.
I'm the Auburn
it's
fan.
Auburn.
You're the Auburn fan.
Thank you, Jaylee.
Jason, you are the Roll Tide.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Me and Ryan and Jaylee are Boomer.
Sooners.
So we're coming. We're coming to the SEC. So just get ready. So we're coming. We're coming.
It's coming in 1 year, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're just going to hang out here tonight and be laid back like one little happy family. And speaking about family, Jason, you and Jared go way back. So why don't y'all talk a little bit about your history together?
Well, Jared, I got to thinking, and that's dangerous sometimes.
Yeah, that's what they say about me.
You know, I was trying to put dates together, and we go back, believe it or not, probably around 18, 20 years. Does that sound right to you?
It's got to be. I joined the Galloways in '99, the December of '99, and then I wasn't with them long that first time. But then when I came back a few years later, that's where I got introduced to you, and I think you had just the McKeithen and Company were just coming off the road.
Yes.
And that's how I got to know you. Now, where I get blurry, you didn't travel with Angelina by herself when she went solo, or was that just a little bit?
No, I did not do any of her solo stuff, no.
Okay, because you left, and then the next thing I know, in between me being gone from the Galloways and coming back, you was running sound for the Galloways.
Yes.
But I met you before all of that. We got to know each other through NQC and Becky Simmons and different things that we would do there. And but then just for a little bit there, we was together on a few dates when I was with the Galloways. And then you ended up meeting your wife or your soon-to-be wife, and y'all got married, and you headed south.
I did. Well, we hung around for a few more years after the fact, but wound up moving back home to Alabama. But fun. We had some fun times, even in those short times we were together on the road. We had some good times.
It broke up. When you travel with a family group, and Jason, you can attest to this, it's a lot different. Ryan, you know this now. It's different traveling with four guys that's not kin, and you have that. But traveling with a family group, it's different. And traveling with the Galloways was even more different. And I'm not saying that bad or ugly, but I'm just saying they were just a close-knit family that you did everything with them. And so So to be the odd person out, as much as they tried to make you family, you're still the odd person out. But to have you come along, that was just like, oh, I've got somebody that knows, I've got somebody outside of this that I have there. But we had some of the funnest times. One of I will share a memory. And
I know what story. I know exactly what story you are fixing to tell.
I was talking to Earl the other day about this, and I was talking to Charlene. This is a couple of months ago. I said, y'all remember when Jason was with us? And I said, Charlene was up on stage, and she'd started using the in-ear monitors. And Charlene was notorious for like, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. Of course, she was literally hearing impaired because of a wreck that happened years and years and years and years ago. And she'd go, turn it up, turn it up. Well, she'd get kind of bossy with it. Well, you took that aux. This was when we didn't have digital boards. It was still the auxiliary dial, and you just went crank like that. That thing went whee right in her ear.
Yeah. I
if looks could kill.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll never forget that.
We said anything to each other for a few hours.
She couldn't hear the rest of the concert, but other than that,
that's good stuff. I'm glad that I never really, all those years you ran sound for me when I was leading worship in the church, I never embarrassed you like that, and it's a good thing, right?
That's
or I'd be.
Well, that was sound check. That was sound check. It wasn't during the concert.
That was sound check.
Okay. Okay. All right.
It was just us in there.
That's great.
There was an outside event too.
Yeah.
That's good. I tell you, why don't we move on? I would love to hear, and you, Jared, can share the mic with other members, however you want to do this. But talk a little bit about Sound Street. How you got started, and just tell a little bit about the group.
Well, we moved to Mississippi in 2020, and we got here. February, the first weekend in February, it's the first Sunday in February. We come on a Saturday, and then I was here that first Sunday. And we were literally here 6 weeks before COVID shut everything down. Before moving, I had started singing as a solo. And I was keeping some dates, and I'd just done a solo project, and I brought Jaylee on. And she was.
I was 10.
Was you 10?
Yep.
Either 10 or I just turned 11.
She was.
When she recorded it, she would have been 10.
She would have been 10, but we was moving down here. She had turned 11, and we were doing some dates. And I told the church when we moved down here, I said, singing is what we do. I said, I preach revivals, and then I've got another guy that travels with us, and we go from time to time to go sing, and it was a solo adventure. Well, we got to thinking about just the logistics of it, and I just didn't want to be Jared, and then there's these two other people all the time with us, and it was my daughter, and we started talking to a few people out there that was encouraging us to go ahead and brand ourselves, and the hardest thing that we had to do was come up with a name. But anyway, for about 6 months during COVID, we wrestled and put all this stuff together, the ideas and the thoughts and how we would make it work. And in July of 2020, we launched Sound Street officially. And we were going to go to NQC that year, but they postponed it. They didn't postpone it. They did a fall break instead of NQC. They spread the seats out, and then in the midst of it, they lifted a lot of the restrictions and opened it all up. But anyway, so we had already paid for our booth space, and we were already going to be on the program. They moved us over to next year. So we went and we did now we were doing dates and revivals. I mean, it wasn't just going to NQC, but that was kind of the highlight of what we did when we started. But our first year at NQC, we sang on a Tuesday morning showcase, and we were picked out of all those showcase entrants to be presented on. They call it winning the showcase, but I don't like to talk of it like a contest, because it's not a contest, because there's all them groups that's in there. It's just really, really good. But we were fortunate to win that, or get picked, however you want to say it, to be on the main stage at Quartet Convention on that Tuesday night. And then a few months later, we wake up to an email, and they sent us an invitation to do a one-song set, which would have been last year. And so we did our one-song set last year, and then during Thanksgiving break, we went back home to Oklahoma, and I got a phone call from one of the people involved in NQC, and was asking, because we were planning on bringing a group of people out, and we were just wanting to, whether we sang or not, we were just wanting to bring people. And they said, well, what night are you bringing your group out there? And I told them, I said, well, we're going to be there all week. And so I get an invitation in the email for us to be there to do a 10-minute set this year on the main stage on Thursday night. So we're excited that God's given us favor on that stage. That stage, as you know, Jason and Scott, that it is the largest stage that we have in our industry. And it is, Bill Bailey said it best, it is like the Grand Ole Opry is to country music. It's the Grand Ole Opry of gospel music, and so many groups work very hard to present, to be on there. And so for us to break through with that, and just to be invited on the level that we are just right now and thus far, we are very excited about that. And it's opened a lot of other doors for us as well, different places throughout the United States that we've been able to go and sing. So it's been really good.
Well, you're talking about NQC being a big stage. It made me think of this coming, I believe it's this coming Saturday. You guys are doing a pretty big event Saturday, correct?
And not to take away from one or the other, we've got two big events that is happening for us. The first one is this Saturday. We had a last minute invitation to come up to the Ark for their 40 days and nights celebration. And so that's been a really great way to get a foot in the door. And we found out that we're going to actually go into the main conference center, or wherever they have the main event that evening, and we're actually going to do one song which will be recorded for Singing News TV, and we're excited about that because we've been looking for content to put out on social media, and the more that we can do with that kind of quality, the better it is for us. So we're going to be part of the 40 days and nights this year, and hopefully if the Lord allows the door to open there, we can maybe start making that something that we can do as long as they do it. And then I'm really excited about this because our go-to place when we're in Oklahoma is Branson, Missouri. And so Saturday, August the 26th, we've been invited to do the Southern Gospel Picnic at Silver Dollar City in Branson,
That's awesome.
Branson, Missouri. So we're really excited about that. So it's opportunities, and when you're on things like that, that just throws you out there in front of so many more churches and other promoters and different people that will book you and bring you in, and so it's big. It's important.
Absolutely. And well deserved. I mean, you guys have worked hard and do a fantastic job, and doors are opening. Now, Jay Lee, so you've been on stage at NQC 2 times.
Yes, sir.
So what's your biggest memory from your time at NQC so far?
Why you do probably before going on stage. Like, Dad usually just gives me, like, a few good words of encouragement, and we pray, and I really like that, and I take it as, like, a good memory to have. And I've actually taken that to school, like, before we have a big test or something major's happening in school, I'll get my friend group. I only have about 4 friends that I'm real close with, but I get them in my friend's mama's office, and we all pray before a big state test, and we just make sure we have a relationship with God, and we want to do it together.
That is fantastic. And what a fantastic answer, because I mean, I'm sitting here and I love the music, and of course I've never sung in a major and any kind of really, just regional groups all, but never anything close to NQC. And I'm thinking about my experiences, and you asked me what my favorite thing is, and been meeting this person or talking to this person, and Jay Lee's is praying before they go out on stage. What an awesome answer. I love it. I love it. That's special.
Thank you.
Well, you talked a little bit about having the content and putting things out on social media. And why don't y'all talk a little bit? I know you got 2 different things. You got a project that was released, let's see, last year, right?
A year and a half ago.
Okay. Okay. Why don't you talk about that one, and then we might move into some more current events.
So when we started, we actually did a little budget. We had the tracks already made for a project. and so we just went and used the tracks we made. They really wasn't made for us, but we just made the best of it. We needed something with Jaylee on it, with Ryan on it, and me as a group at that point. And so we went and did that. And then it was just a few months later that I called Roger. I said, Jaylee is really growing, and her voice is changing even more from right. when we were just there a few months ago. And I said, I think I'm ready to kind of switch it a little bit, give her a couple of songs to sing, and so I can feature her more and just build her. We need some more confidence building and getting in the studio. So he has actually taken us on. I mean, he's kind of like our label, Roger is, because he just, he works with Crossroads and all of those artists, but for him to take time out to work for a group like that, and he gets that. He gets the father-daughter thing because of him and Lauren. Right. But he helped us pick the songs for the last project, and he probably wasn't as picky on the last one as he was with this one that we just completed. But he helped us go through the song selections. He arranged everything, and we went in and cut the tracks. And we sent about 5 or 6 songs off of that project. And radio is crucial, and that's just kind of been one of the hardest things that we've are trying to break into. Radio, we can get on concerts, we can go sing at churches, but getting radio to play us is, you've got hundreds and hundreds of artists out there that is wanting those spins, and so it's very hard. But we just found out for the month of September, the last song that we're going to single off of the project, called The Next Chapter, and I think you got that there, is I'd Rather Believe in the Old Rugged Cross. And we found out that it debuted a month after we sent it out to radio at 69 in the Singing News magazine for the Singing News top 100 chart, or top 80 chart, top 80. And so we thought that was a strong debut for us, and that's the quickest that anything that we've sent out has ever happened. Usually we'll send a song out and it sits and sits and sits out there, and it'll at the last minute make a quick jump up into the top 80, then it falls out. But for this to be that quick, that excited us. So this new the current project, man, it's wonderful. Ryan's got a couple of songs. Our last single, it ended up going to 64, wasn't it, in the Singing News? Wasn't that right, Ryan?
I think so, yes. And
that song actually featured him. And I was starting to get a complex. I'm going, now wait, they're going to pick Ryan over me. This is, but you just kind of throw things out there, and you see what radio likes and what gets added on. And when I got the news that they added it to Singing News Radio, we were very excited about that too. So that was exciting for it. There's a lot of good songs on it. We did 11 songs and a reprise of the Ready for Revival on the end of it. And it's been good. So we like it. Jaylee's got a song on there called He Will Hold Me Fast. Roger had brought that to her, and it is a really good cut. She did a really good job.
Absolutely.
And so do we want to segue into the new project with that?
Let's do that. One thing that I'm failing on, and I'm having to be my own producer. One of these days we might get a budget for a producer, but we've got some interaction from some folks. Yeah. We'll pop this on here. That's my cousin Neil, my brother cousin, and he is also a Roll Tide fella. So he asked me how much I paid her. I'll never tell. Thanks for joining us. Miss Megan Edgeworth says, hi, everybody. She's joining in. And Jason, look at there. Mama's watching.
Hey.
Mama's watching.
This is
is that Alice?
Two episodes in a row. So
that's Miss Alice. And she said, Jared, you behave.
I will. But it's good seeing you on here.
Everything Southern Gospel has joined us, and they say, hey, all. And I think I have covered everybody. I like to thank folks for joining us in and giving a little airtime. But yeah, Jared, so go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I know, Ryan, you're kind of sitting down there and we haven't heard much out of you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of, how you got started, where you got started, and just where you are today, obviously with Sound Street. But Jared kind of touched on the friendship, but kind of share your history.
Yeah, so when I was still in high school, like Jared said, when I met him, and it was about that time, I was around a senior in high school, that I had every intention. Growing up, I was in band in high school and middle school, and singing was not a thing for me. I sang at home, but I never did sing in church, and so I had every intention of going to the University of Oklahoma and being in the Pride of Oklahoma. And there we go. And I actually had a youth minister at our church. We kind of put a little band together, and he kind of picked the parts as to who was going to do what based on what he thought, I guess, was who had the best talent to do what. And he chose me to sing, which I thought was the oddest thing. And because we had some other girls in the group that really could sing, and they were really good. And so we did a few things. I started singing in church. The very first song I ever sang in church, I was 18 years old, was 3 Wooden Crosses by Randy Travis.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And I'm a big country music fan, so that just was right up my alley. And so we had a singing group from the college that I went to. It's called Randall University now, and used to be called Hillsdale College in Oklahoma City. And they came to our church. And our youth director pulled me aside and he said, "Look, I know you have every intention of going to OU, but I want you to talk to these guys. I think you would fit in really well at this college." So I got to talking to these guys and the ministry team when they were there, and they said, "Just come for a visit to the college." So I actually went and visited the college, and it was just like church camp to me. It was very small, and I had a great visit with them. And so I came back home, prayed about it, and decided that's where I needed to go. And I was going to join the ministry team there and sing. And so that's what I did. I did that for 4 years, and I met a young man there while I was in the group, in various groups there. And we actually started a Southern Gospel duo after we left college. We only traveled around for about a year or two. And in that time, I met a group from Oklahoma called Forgiven Quartet. They were on the Songgarden music label several years back. And in meeting them, they were looking for a baritone singer at the time. And so they wanted me to come audition, and I did, and got the position. And that was back in 2010, I think, somewhere around in there. And in this time, I still know Jared, and I see him every now and then. And we actually started working together at a hospital here in the Tulsa area. And so that's how we really got to be closer than what we were. And he's probably got some stories he could tell you about that later on. Yeah, he hated working with me, but we won't go down that road tonight. But
I didn't hate working with you.
He tells me all the time that he didn't necessarily hate working with me, but he didn't like working with me. Let's put it that way. But so I got to singing with Forgiven. I sang with them for 5 years, and then I actually came off the road. Jared had started a church there here in Mounds, Oklahoma, and I came off the road to be his worship leader. And I did that for, was it 2 years, 3 years, something like that?
3 years.
And in that time, there was another local group here in Oklahoma called the Ambassadors. I started singing lead for them and did that for about 2 or 3 years. And then Jared had resigned the church at that point and started doing the solo project. And so he came and asked me if I would do some background vocals on his solo project. I said, absolutely. And so he said, well, I want to bring Jaylee in to do 2 or 3 songs with us. And I said, okay. And so he liked how it sounded in the studio, and Sound Street was born.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so we kind of took a little break there on projects and all. But yeah, now, Jared, if y'all want to go ahead and share things to come, there's some excitement on the horizon.
There is. And I told people that we would be giving them a little surprise. So here's the first surprise. We've got a brand new project that is coming out. And we actually have a short run of CDs that are being replicated at this time, and they will be delivered to us. And actually, Ryan, FYI, they're coming to your place next week.
Okay.
So
good to know.
We're having them shipped, and we're gonna have them available for Silver Dollar City. But we've got a brand new project called Good Seed. There you go. Ta-da! That is the first time that we've shown any picture for that on social media, and we are really, 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 I can't even say it enough how excited we are about this project. We've put 12 songs on this. You know, a lot of people have cut down and they do like 7 or 8 songs on a project, and when you see the cost that it is to put songs on a project, you understand why they cut down to 7 songs. And now royalties have went up, I think, to $1.10 or $1.20 per song. I mean, so, you know, it was 90 something cents.
91 cents. Yeah.
Yeah. And now we're $1. So, you know, that adds up, especially when you're moving, you know, thousands of pieces of product. And, so we've got a short order coming of this, and we are actually going to be pre-selling that here in the next week or two. And my wife is actually working over there on her computer right now. We've got a special T-shirt that's getting made to go with that, and we're going to do a special CD T-shirt release for $40. But we'll have that on our Facebook page. So we want people to go like our Facebook page, because we're going to give all the information out there of how to pre-order that project, because we are taking it to Silver Dollar City, but we're not going to carry it everywhere that we have, because there's some other things that we're doing with the project that we've got to kind of wait on that for. But it's not getting released to digital right now. That's going to come on down the road. So the only way that they're going to get a copy of this CD is to pre-order it. And so we're really excited about that. So we went to Roger. I told Roger, I said, now Jaylee's ready. I said, we're ready for the next step. And so we got to shift the gears. We need you to help us pick some songs. And so we was excited about several songs, and we'd bring to him and he'd go, you can do better. I mean, we'd be fired up about a song, and I'm thinking, oh, this is great. He's going to love it. And he's going to, keep trying. And so it was very trying, and at times frustrating, because you're trying to get into his head of, well, what's he hearing? What's he wanting to do with us? But once we started getting some of the songs, and we kind of tapped into that vein with him, it all started just kind of rolling together. And so we got some writers. We've got 2 songs by Rodney Griffin, and we've got and he co-wrote one of the songs with Tony Wood. Darren Lohr with the Lohr family, him and Regina Walden, and I can't remember the other lady's name. They wrote one. Then we have a Joseph Habedank song, a killer Joseph Habedank song. Nice. And then we've got 5 Adina Bowman songs. 5.
Fantastic.
And one is just one she wrote by herself, and then she's got one that she wrote with Christy. Don't get me lying on her last name, but she's got a good one there. She's got several others, but she wrote one with Joe Lindsay, and we always want a barn burning song. You know, we call it a barn burner. And we got that with her. And so I thought tonight, since we gave him a surprise of the project Good Seed and showing him the artwork of that, I thought that it would be neat to let everybody hear one of the songs off the project tonight before it goes out there. And so who all's watching tonight, they get a chance to hear a song written by Adina Bowman and Joe Lindsay, Through the Furnace Fire. So if we can play that, I'm excited about it. This is
yeah. Jason and I have heard about 30 seconds of it, and we're already fired up about it. And I will say this, as far as, I don't know how the Facebook gurus do this, but I know sometimes with copyright material, we get kind of silenced afterwards. The folks that own the rights to this is on the screen right now and giving permission for this to be used, correct?
Yes.
So, yeah, we've got permission to play this, and we want to spin right now Sound Street Through the Furnace Fire.
Moses how he felt, what he thought, standing there on the banks of the mighty Red Sea. Ask old Daniel how you pray when you're looking in the lion's eye. Listen to the 12 tell about being out on a boat with the winds rocking Galilee. Then let Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego join the crowd that will testify. I'm trusting the one who can roll back the water, making a way where there's no way. In the darkest night, I know he's standing by my side. He's the God who speaks to the raging storm when the waves come crashing higher. I'm trusting the one who stands by me through the furnace fire. Oh, I can tell you about some things in my life. Thought I was going down for the very last time. Fought some battles, felt the heat and the anger from the enemy. I've been in a hard-pouring rain, hurricane, wondered why any help was nowhere in sight. But he's never left me or let me down. He's my all and he'll always be. I'm trusting the one who can roll back the water, making a way when there's no way. In the darkest night, I know he's standing by my side. He's the God who speaks to the raging storm when the waves come crashing higher. I'm trusting the one who stands by me through the furnace fire. I'm trusting the one who can roll back the water, making a way where there's no way. In the darkest night, I know he's standing by my side. He's the God who speaks to the raging storm when the waves come crashing higher. I'm trusting the one who stands by me through the furnace fire. I'm trusting the one who stands by me through the furnace fire. I'm trusting the one who can roll back the water, making a way when there's no way. In the darkest night, I know he's standing by my side. He's the God who speaks to the raging storm when the waves come crashing higher. I'm trusting the one who stands by me through the furnace fire. I'm trusting the one who can roll back the water, making a way where there's no way. In the darkest night, I know he's standing by my side. He's the God who speaks to the raging storm when the waves come crashing higher. I'm trusting the one who stands by me through the furnace fire. I'm trusting the one who stands by me through the furnace fire.
All right.
Woo!
Is that better?
Hey, I tell you what, if that don't get you going, your goer went out.
Hey, you know, I turned the camera off a second. We didn't mute at that time, but Jason and I was looking through the comments, and I'll just say this. We are taking applications today for a producer. If any of y'all that have the comments would like to jump on and volunteer your time, we're taking any free help that you can give. Good gracious. Those Southern Gospel fans are brutal. You know what I'm saying?
I got a buddy of mine, David Bernhardt, watching. He said, I guess Facebook didn't believe about the copyrights.
Oh, well. Maybe one boo-boo ain't terrible. Sorry about that. But it was an absolute awesome cut, and I cannot wait to hear the rest of the project. So definitely everybody needs to be watching the Sound Street Facebook page for that announcement of that limited run to be able to get that package.
and our website, soundstreetonline.com. And you can go on there. We'll have it up on as soon as it's available for the pre-order. We'll have it available there because we're going to channel everybody to our website to do that package. And so we're going to give you the new CD and a T-shirt, a commemorative T-shirt that we're only going to carry for the introduction of this project. So we're very excited about that.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that and sharing the artwork.
Well, when you told me this was your first season 1 with all of this and going on, I thought, well, that is kind of special, but we are excited. We've literally been working on this project since probably November of last year, starting looking through songs and doing all of that. We tracked in February. We did vocals in April. Then it's went through all the editing and tuning and the mixing and the mastering. And so we're just excited. And we just got the tracks back last week, and we were in Kanawha, Oklahoma for their big annual, used to be called the Kanawha All Night Singing. But we were there with Gold City, and we got to showcase 3 of the songs off the new project, and they went over very well at Kanawha this year. So we're excited about it.
Yeah, we're excited to hear them all.
And Jaylee's got 3 on this that features her. Tell them about the one that you wanted to do, the Ann Wilson song.
Okay, so I love Ann Wilson. I fell in love with her when I heard My Jesus for the first time.
Yep.
And so I downloaded her on my Apple Music, and I was like listening to her stuff on repeat. And Dad was like, "Hey, what do you think about doing an Ann Wilson song for one of our songs for you?" And I was like, "Oh my goodness, I would love that. Like, I love all of her songs." So we ended up picking out Mansions, and I absolutely love how it sounds and the track and everything that just goes on behind the scenes with everything. So.
And she did a really good job on it.
Oh, she has a very good cut, and people that's hearing it, that we're letting some DJs kind of hear it. We're letting some insiders kind of preview the project right now. And everybody comes back as that being probably the top song on the project because of the commercial sound of it and the youth that she is with that. But we've even been told a couple of times that that's probably going to be what the album's known for. So I hope they're right. I mean, it's and for it to be her song, and I just think she's come to hear her take that course of that song at the end. She has come so far just in a short amount of time, and no wonder everybody has kind of been really excited to see Jaylee come on the scene with. So we're excited.
Even from the next chapter to this project, I mean, just listening to the 2, I mean, just hearing the maturity, and just it's just coming of age. I mean, just still, and I am so glad because I'm a champion for young folks in Southern gospel music. Sometimes Southern gospel is kind of put out there like it's you got to have blue or gray hair to enjoy it. And I tell you, it's so many of the concerts I go to, I'm seeing a lot. I mean, I don't have gray hair yet. It's falling out. I'm getting in that older group, but I'm still middle-aged. There's more people my age and the next
generation.
Me and you,
down. We're close to age. Don't be aging ourselves now.
And then I see so many young people. I've seen a lot of young people at concerts, and it's just thrilling me. And then I'm seeing so many young artists on the stage, now, and I'm so tickled for Jaylee representing and just doing a fantastic job.
Well, we've got the song like that kind of taps into that good barn burning concert style singing. We've got some great ballads in here. Jaylee's song, she's got a couple of trendy sounding songs that she's done. And then Ryan says that he is a country music fan, and this just kind of always happens. We don't plan it. It just seems to evolve this way around him. But we've got 2 country sounding that will take you to pure Southern gospel. I mean, it don't get any Southern gospel than that. And the 2 that we have feature him. And I want to say, I can't wait for y'all to hear this project because Ryan just outdid himself the confidence that he put on this project, and we've all three have said this, that we've never been part of a project like this before, and so for us to have such a top notch deal. I got a text message from a buddy of mine, Darren Lord, who wrote one of the songs that Ryan sings. He said, man, this wasn't just a next step for y'all. He said this was like a leap 4 or 5 steps on down the road. He said, so I'm excited for y'all. And so we really are excited about this project.
Well, we're excited about hearing it. So
cannot wait
to hear the whole thing. We were kind of talking about Jaylee a few minutes ago. I'm curious, Jaylee, to kind of hear your story for a second. Other than being able to travel with Dad, obviously, and sing on the stage with him night after night, looking back, do you remember what was that moment that you knew this is what you wanted to do?
Okay, I got it. When we were starting off and Dad he asked me if I wanted to do one song on our very first project I'd ever be on. I think I was on one when I was 2. I sang Jesus Loves Me, but anyways, that's beside the point. He asked me if I wanted to do it, and I was like, yeah, sure. So I practiced.
She wasn't just, yeah, sure. When I came in and said, I'm going to do a solo project, and I want you to sing not just any song. I wanted her to do Living in Canaan.
Oh, yeah.
She beamed up, and yes, Dad, yes. Oh, my goodness, yes.
Wonderful.
So, no, you go ahead. I had to put that in there because that's
So when I got in the studio and I was recording it, I fell in love. I loved like the atmosphere of just being in the studio and with my dad, because what? Oh, but sorry. But I think that's when I really fell in love with it, because.
No, keep going.
You're gonna talk.
No, I'm gonna have you say something else. Keep going.
Well, I don't know what I was gonna say anymore.
Okay, I'm sorry. But so she did that. But I want you to say the first year that we walked into NQC, and we walked in from the side. We were all three walking across. All 4 of us was all walking across there.
So we was walking across, and we walked in
the big room where the main stage is.
First time I had ever seen anything that big of a stage, and I was like, I said, Dad, that's the stage I want to be on. He was like,
oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
I want to work to be there, and God blessed us to win or get that spot, and it's just amazing.
That's wonderful.
Well, that's awesome, and just like Scott was saying, you can tell a difference from the last project, even just hearing the one song that we just listened to.
Definitely.
And to be able to watch and listen to that coming of age of her is going to be pretty awesome.
The sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. Absolutely. Well, now you've had some 15, interaction.
15, Scott, at 15, she, like you just said, the sky is the limit.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be amazing to see. Right now, they say that I get the first picks of the songs.
He does.
Me and Mama pay for the project, so I'll sing what I like. But
you got
Ryan said it best. We were Facebook Live last week, and Ryan said it best, and he took the words right out of my mouth. Here in another year or two, it's going to be Jaylee that's going to be getting all the picks of the song, and so we'll be singing with her. So
that's
and
awesome.
You know what? If that's the road that she continues on, and that's how she does, I said, well, I'm going to push her and help her every bit I can. Because I'm proud of her, and I'm proud of Ryan, and I'm proud of this group, because we don't do everything right, but we try the best that we can, and that goes even when we're not on stage. We want to try to be the example of living right and doing things right, and putting our best foot forward, and representing not only the kingdom on the stage, but representing it in our personal lives as well.
And when the roots run deep into the Word and to the Lord's will and His way, then it shines and it manifests. The tree grows, the branches grows, the leaves grows, and your ministry grows from those deep roots. That's exactly the way to be.
Yeah, and I mean, Jared, you've got 2 other ones behind her.
Yeah.
And so, with her setting even that example for them, is crucial for them to see that. And even other young people, I mean, Scott's talking about us getting old. I mean, his turned gray. Mine didn't turn gray; it turned loose. But
ran away.
It did. But for her setting that, for you, Jaylee, setting that example, not only for your siblings, but for the other inspiring young person that maybe one day this is something they want to do, and to see you on stage fulfilling what you're doing, I commend you for that. And that's awesome.
Absolutely. And talking about that real quick, and I know we've kept y'all a little longer, especially with my little boo-boo. It's run a little longer than we meant to, but could you give a shout out to the rest of the family?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got Amber. Do you want to come say hi? Your hair and makeup's good. Come here and just pop in and say hi. Hey, Johanna,
can't be no worse than mine.
This is really good. Hey, y'all, come in here.
While he's hollering at all them, I'll tell y'all, Johanna's the one you're going to have to watch here now. Johanna,
hang on.
Johanna's the showstopper. When he always has her come up on stage and sing a song when we're in concert. Yeah. And boy, she'll come up there and rip that microphone out of my hand, and she just sings
there
like
she is.
There she is.
Hey, Johanna.
Jace, get up here. Y'all get in the picture. So real quick, this is down here is Jace. Say hi.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Why are you talking like that? Hello.
Just say
hey.
Hi.
Hello.
So last year he had a debut on the National Quartet Convention stage.
Yeah.
He went up to Bill Bailey and Josh and Dwayne and said, "Hey, I can loosen this crowd up. Get me up on that stage." And he went up there and had him in stitches. And then back here, she's the glue that she keeps us all in line, and
I'm the graphic designer, and
she's a graphic designer, and we're actually praying that she'll start singing soon. But this is, I call her Mama, but this is Amber, my wife, and then here is,
what's your name?
Say your name.
Johanna.
How old are you?
She has actually said, whose mic does Ryan use right now? Is that your mic?
Yes.
She said,
Mine.
"That is my microphone. Uh-oh. Ryan's using it right now." So
what's he gonna do when you start singing with us?
When you start singing,
he's gonna get bass.
He's gonna get bass.
Okay. All right. Well, so, I want to give y'all an opportunity.
Yeah, this is the family. So Johanna's 8. She'll be 8 this year, and Jace is 13. So we're
we
really
won't say
excited.
how old Amber is.
He'll be 43.
She won't be 43. I'll be 40.
No,
I'll be 43. I'm 43 already.
Are you?
Amber turns. I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
He can't say it, but I'll say it. She turns 40.
and I am proud of it.
There you go.
She's proud of it. I promised you, I didn't know if this thing was going to take off or it was going to tail spin and crash and burn. I don't know where we're at.
Hey, those milestones or something. I got 5-0 looking at me in a couple of months, so I know I don't near look it, but
Well, I'm right behind you.
Oh man,
because I'll be there shortly myself.
You will. Well, look, I don't want to abuse your time. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. We look forward to all of the new music. I've got a couple of things that I would like to ask our crowd. I don't know how many. We've had a bunch of folks watching live. Thank y'all for joining us. And sorry for a little mistake a while ago.
If you don't make a mistake, you don't know how to fix it.
That's right. That's right. So now, I understand that if I'm having to play, the track was sent, it was a little too large for the StreamYard product that we used to this live. So I was playing from my cell phone into my mixer, and I wasn't thinking that when I muted mine and Jason, we muted everything. And then the other thing was, I don't know if they could hear it, but Neil, my brother cousin, he was calling on the cell phone, I guess, to tell me what I did. So when I unmuted, you probably heard the phone ringing. So that even made it even more. I mean, if that wasn't Roadhog, nothing is. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, but here's what I want the folks watching this, listening to the podcast, watching the replays, what I want you to do. I want you to go and look up SoundStreetOnline.com. That's the website. You can find everything Sound Street. I looked today, was going through, familiarizing myself again with the website. You got all the links to the social media, to the music. You can shop. You can be watching there for the special coming out. Go there, like them on Facebook and on all the other social media. Follow them, all of their pages. Do that. But also what I want you to do, hopefully everyone here is connected with the church in some way. Probably have some pastors, have some worship leaders. But even if you're not, you can speak to your pastor and your worship leader. And what we want to do is we want to help Sound Street come to your church.
Yes.
I want them to come to the South Lamar area. I want them in the Millport and Kennedy, Alabama area. You know, I was 21 years in ministry, and as of this past November, I don't have an official position, so I don't exactly have the string pulling capabilities like I used to do that. So I need somebody to jump on board with me and help bring Sound Street to the West Alabama, East Mississippi area. We need them here. So y'all look them up, buy their product, support them, pray for them, and then let's bring them to your church. How's that sound, y'all?
Hey, it sounds great. And you're mentioning church. I just I want to give a shout out because me and my family are down here in southeastern Mississippi. We're only a few hours away from you, Scott and Jason. Ryan still lives in Oklahoma. But we love our church here at Trinity Free Will Baptist, and they support us in allowing us to still be able to go and from time to time miss some Sundays to go preach and sing. But, you know, to go, I put it like this. I said several people will go chase a softball, a baseball, a soccer ball, a basketball, and they'll go all over playing sports with their kids. I said, we don't play sports, we sing. And so we chase microphones and gospel groups all across. So that's what we do. It supplements our livelihood. We're full-time in all of this. But our church really does partner with us by allowing us the opportunity to go. And, you know, I pastor, and it's hard to juggle a lot of this sometimes, but man, God's grace is sufficient. And what he calls us to, he always gets us through that. So it was good. Sometimes it's late nights like I had to do Saturday night. We had to drive 9.5 hours back home all through the night just so I could be in the pulpit Sunday morning. But you know what? We love it. We love the gospel music. We're not only fans, not only singers of it, performers of it, but we're fans of it as well. And so it's who we are.
Well, absolutely, and thank you for Trinity for supporting you. And
we'd love to come.
And your
we'd love
family.
to come.
Yeah, we want to get you here. And real quick before we close out, I'll do one more little plug. And this one is not a sponsorship. This is something that is near and dear to mine and Jared's heart. But down rolling across the bottom of the screen is some information for SGMA, Southern Gospel Music Association. You got the website there. You want to tell them a little bit about that real quick?
Well, you know, the SGMA, we got in our brand new home at the Biblical Times Theater there in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And me and you both are board members on the SGMA. And the highlight that what we're able to do is not just push and showcase the actual Hall of Fame and museum, but that we actually do every year during the National Quartet Convention. We have an induction ceremony for 5 or 6 inductees that will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And we've already announced the first 3 for this year's class of inductees. Sue Dodge, many of y'all remember the Spear family from many years ago. Sue and her husband Amos, they live in Washington, D.C. area, and she still travels and sings. You've seen her on all the Gaither videos. She is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Then a name that a lot of people on the fan side really didn't know, but the industry side knew, Norman Holland, which he had a long, extensive work on the backside of gospel music. But for you to know many of the artists that you do today, and I'm talking the big names, was because of the responsibility that he had to push them out there for them to get seen, and made sure they got the right songs and they got the right publicity, and they did that. So Norman Holland sadly passed away a few years back, but he is being honored by being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And then Ryan will like this one. He's a big Cathedral fan, and I know there's 2 other Cathedral fans sitting right there.
Absolutely.
Hey, look, I wanted to try if I can go over and slap you, but I can't.
Easy.
Cathedrals, Danny Funderburk. They just informed him that he has been inducted. So you can go to sgma.org, find out all the information. You can follow him on Facebook and kind of keep track of who's next up. We can't say anything right now because that's all revealed as a process. But to see the whole ceremony, we want you to come to NQC and come be part of that. We've got some free tickets for Sunday night too, so if people like that, go to our website and we'll get them hooked up with that. But the SGMA is preserving the history and the legacy, but also it's projecting the future of gospel music. And so it's something that we're very excited to be a part of. And I'm glad to be on that board with you, Scott.
Yes, I'm glad to be at it last year. Looking forward to the future there. Got that website on the bottom and 1-year membership. It's only $20 if you'll go and join us. And that will get you the rights to nominate each year for the Hall of Fame. And your $20 helps us curate the museum and also like get the plaques and things that are needed for those enshrined in the Hall of Fame. So your prayerful support would mean a lot to us. And talking about that future, one last plug, and then we're gonna mount the ponies and ride out in the sunset. But talking about the future of Southern Gospel, and I had a little conversation with Miss J. Lee earlier before we got on. There's going to be another live stream and podcast starting up soon for the youth in Southern Gospel music, young fans, young artists, and I think Miss J. Lee is going to jump on with that. I'm the chaperone on the bus on this thing, but there's some other folks. There's some young fans like Riley Wheeler and Evan Bradford, a few others. His sister Avery may get involved some on that as fans, but we're going to talk all things youth in Southern Gospel, and we're really trying to build a community to unite the young Southern Gospel artists and the young Southern Gospel fans to really grow and promote the music. So that's coming forward. So y'all be looking for that. And Sound Street, man, I just thank y'all so much for hanging with us tonight.
Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you, Jason.
Absolutely.
We appreciate the friendship there, and we do appreciate this opportunity to be on the first episode of the first season. So we're excited.
Well, thank y'all so much for joining us. And again, everybody watching, please go to soundstreetonline.com and like them on Facebook and support them and help bring them to your church. But with that said, I think we're going to wrap it up. For this time. So be watching. This will hit all the podcast platforms with a little editing after, some of things that happen live tonight, but be watching for that. Subscribe. Please like our SBM Studios Facebook page. Subscribe to the SBM Studios YouTube channel. Share it with your friends and be watching. You won't miss any content if you subscribe. But thank you for joining us. Thank you, Sound Street, for joining us. And until next time, we'll say God bless you. And we'll see you around the bend.
Have a good evening.